increase nationwide, grassroots groups providing crucial support to undocumented communities are growing, including right here in the Valley. That's tonight's top story. Social media platforms at their peak, leaving a space for millions throughout the country to voice their opinions. Tiani Jadalang joining us live in studio tonight. She spoke with members of some of those organizations and shares more tonight. Tiani?
Mark, a number of Coachella Valley residents source their information from local grassroots organizations. But with posts reaching audiences across the state, how do they ensure the information they're sharing is accurate? I spoke with a few members who gave me those answers. Pictures and videos are shared by Coachella Valley's Women's March. They're just one of the many organizations releasing information to what they say inform the public. The group formed almost a decade ago. An organizer we spoke to tells me the group is made up of local residents who hope to keep advocating for legislation and policies. But how exactly they're making sure their information is accurate, they say their volunteers are out at the scene, like so many others.
I know that our responsibility is to, yes, inform, but also make sure that we provide the right information and the right education. I can mention one or a nonprofit organization that I know is doing that, and that's volunteers with an indigenous-based nonprofit organization called Danza Azteca. For us, like reporting and offering resources to the community, we just always try to refer them to Torek Legal Center.
They also rely on other grassroots organizations like Code Pink Coachella Valley and many more to help confirm accurate information. Coming up at 6, hear from more organizations on how they source their information and why they feel it's so important to do so here in the Coachella Valley. Live in studio, I'm Tiani Jadalang, NBC Palm Springs.
Tiani, thank you. We have a local alert this evening. The Palm Springs community taking time today to honor local heroes. A private appreciation barbecue was held earlier today, thanking police and fire departments for their brave response to last month's act of terrorism. Excuse me. During the event, local leaders became servers, offering treats to the first responders who protect us every day.
As an assembly member, I was in Sacramento and I heard about what was going on, and I was worried about our community, the Coachella Valley. Myself and Assemblyman Greg Wallace, we looked at each other like, what can we do? How can we help? And this is just one way that all of us can come together and show love.
This event was a collaborative effort between the Cali Pride Foundation, the Morales and Galindo Group, and the Hispanic American Chamber of Commerce.
The Coachella Valley Firebirds are hitting the ice for a different kind of mission, helping rebuild Palm Springs through their One Valley Foundation. The team just launched an online auction to support local businesses impacted by last month's bombing. 100% of the proceeds will go towards rebuilding Palm Springs, a community reunited. Fans can bid on signed jerseys, sticks, photos, and more, but it's only for a limited time. This auction runs from June 20th to the 27th. On the Dash auction app, and organizers say every bid counts towards helping their neighbors recover. All right, let's give you a live look tonight from our Agua Caliente casino camera high above Rancho Mirage. Chloe Carlson joins us right now. Looks like we got some haze there off in the distance.
A little bit of haze, a little bit of those gusty winds. But guys, it is the first day of summer.
Oh.
So exciting, right? Yeah. I know it's
But cooler than the last few days, actually.
Yeah, so what a way to kick it off. Cooling down for the weekend. But I don't think anyone is complaining about that. We got a little preview of the summer temperatures. Now it's like, all right, let's take a little bit of a break. I thought I'd show you this. I showed you everyone yesterday, so if you missed it. Our sunrise this morning was at 5:35 a.m. We are going to get a total of 14 hours, 24 minutes, and 15 seconds of daylight. So hopefully at some point you can enjoy all that sunshine for the first day of summer. If it's through a window, that is okay. Because even though it is cooler, a little bit cooler today, it is still very warm out there. Our sunset this evening is going to be at 8 o'clock. And then now until December 21st, we'll lose a minute or so each and every day. So enjoy it while it lasts. Wind advisory, this is going to continue. As Mark said, a little bit of that haze near the pass. We have those gusty winds continuing through Saturday evening. So those gusts up to 60 miles per hour for specifically the San Gornio Pass. So they're going to be seeing the strongest gusts over Southern California in this area right here. Kind of funnels through there. The 62 up to Morongo as well. Those in Desert Hot Springs and Thousand Palms, North Palm Springs, the usual suspects. You can expect those winds to be gusty through tomorrow evening. So this should come as no surprise, along with that wind advisory of this air quality alert through Sunday morning. So even after those winds calm down Saturday evening, it takes a minute for that dust and that sand to settle. So keep that in mind. Air quality alert through Sunday morning. Outside right now, 107 in downtown Palm Springs. Yeah, winds are gusty as we expected right now through the pass. Here's a look at your company 3-day forecast. 99 for Saturday. Oh my word, what a cooler day. We'll stay below average through the early part of next week. We'll break down more and can expect in that full forecast coming up.
All right, Chloe, thank you for that. We have live pictures tonight from Tel Aviv, Israel, where shelter-in-place orders have been issued. Comes after another day of Israel and Iran intercepting drone strikes. The fighting has been going on for more than a week now, with dozens killed and many questioning whether the United States will get involved.
And tonight, the CEO of the Jewish Federation of the Desert spoke to us about how 100 LGBTQ plus Jewish leaders came together for the Pride celebration in Tel Aviv. And that celebration took a turn after the bombings that happened this past Friday. Our Brett Rosen joining us live tonight. He's in Rancho Mirage with more on what this organization is saying tonight. Brett.
Olivia, the Jewish Federation North America represents both the U.S. and Canada. Right now, I'm outside the Jewish Federation of the Desert building here in Rancho Mirage. I spoke with their CEO, Danny Labin, earlier today, and he talked about how the nonprofit has raised over $850 million to help aid Israel in the past 20 months. When speaking to Labin, he told us about how the Federation took 100 volunteers and LGBTQ plus leaders to Israel to show up in solidarity with the Israeli people during the Tel Aviv Parade Pride. He told me since the bombing a week ago, he hasn't been able to fall asleep.
And I remember hearing that. The voice on the loudspeaker, it was a live voice saying, wake up, Israel and Iran are at war, go to the shelter. When something happens in Israel or to the Jewish people anywhere around the world, that is when federations move into action, step up, raise resources, and determine how best to bring those resources to vulnerable populations and to those who need them the most.
Labin also told us that the volunteers, a part of this trip, don't see what happened as a mission fail, but they are using it as fuel to continue and help aid Israel. And according to Labin, everyone a part of the Jewish Federation of the Desert that was on the trip are all back home safe and sound. Now coming up at 6, you'll hear the full story of what Danny Labin went through in Tel Aviv, as well as you'll hear about a future community forum that the Jewish Federation of the Desert is going to put on to help continue aid Israel. For NBC Palm Springs, I'm Brett Rosen, sending it back to you guys in studio.
Brett, thank you. And staying in the Middle East tonight, President Donald Trump saying he'll decide on possible action in Iran within 2 weeks as his inner circle of advisors tightens.
Meantime, 130 American evacuees from Israel have arrived in Florida, while EU leaders hold talks in Geneva to seek a diplomatic solution. NBC's Garrett Hake has the details tonight from the nation's capital.
As Iran and Israel exchange fire, a last-ditch effort at diplomacy is underway to avoid U.S. military involvement and a major escalation in the newest conflict in the Middle East.
The world is watching with growing alarm. We are not drifting toward crisis. We are racing toward it.
NBC News confirming Iran's missiles striking an area just a mile from an Israeli military base. Iranian officials met today with European counterparts in Geneva, searching for a path back to nuclear negotiations. But Iran's foreign minister says as long as Israel launches missiles, his country will not negotiate. President Trump gave himself 2 weeks to make a decision on whether to bomb Iran or give Israel bunker-busting weapons to reach Iranian nuclear infrastructure buried deep underground. He has said any deal must include a ban on Iran enriching uranium, which that country has refused. NBC News has learned the president is relying on a small group of advisors, one that does not include Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, and with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth taking a minor role, according to 2 defense officials and a senior administration official, though the Pentagon says that's false. But as the world waits for the president's decision, people in the Middle East are speaking out, and Americans in Israel are getting out.
It'd be like at 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the morning, and you just have to go straight to the bomb shelters, and you have to hide because then all you can hear is just boom, 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 rockets flying everywhere. It's really scary, you know?
All right, coming up next here tonight on NBC Palm Springs, Riverside County voters head to the polls Tuesday to pick a new state assembly member for the 63rd district. We have those details coming up right after the break.
Also, tomorrow, the festivities for the action sports spectacle known as Record Breakers begins. Our Caitlin Kelly will join us live in studio tonight to tell us what we can expect. We'll be right back.
Riverside County voters head to the polls on Tuesday to pick a new state assembly member for the 63rd district. The seat opened up after former assembly member Bill Asaley was appointed U.S. attorney by President Donald Trump. 4 candidates, a Libertarian, a Democrat, and 2 Republicans, now all vying for the job. And if anyone gets a majority, there won't be a runoff in November. From tax relief to education and public safety, each candidate is bringing a different vision to the table.
Coachella City leaders want your input tonight on a new passenger rail station, and they're sweetening the deal. The first 50 people to attend a July 10th workshop could win a $100 grocery gift card. The meeting is going to be held at the main library from 4 to 6 p.m. It'll focus on location, design, and features to make the station a true community hub. More than 70 million Americans are expected to travel for the 4th of July. That's according to a new AAA projection. They estimate that 72.2 million people will travel at least 50 miles from home on June 28th to July 6th. This year's Independence Day travel forecast is an increase of 1.7 million travelers compared to last year and is 7 million more than in 2019. AAA projects a record 61.6 million people will travel by car and 5.84 million people will fly to their destinations.
Hurricane Eric causing widespread destruction in Oaxaca, Mexico. This powerful storm made landfall on Thursday, uprooting trees and damaging homes. So far, no deaths have been reported. That's according to the National Civil Protection Coordination. That the storm reached Category 3 before making landfall. It disrupted infrastructure across the region, affecting 15 road sections and causing power outages for 123,000 users. Eric weakened to a tropical storm after making landfall, leaving flooded streets, damaged boats and buildings in Oaxaca as authorities warn of those dangerous rains. Back here in the Coachella Valley, a live look outside from our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera on the first day of summer. And what do you know? It's cooperating a bit. Cooler temperatures for us here in the desert heading into the weekend. Chloe Carlson's tracking that change right after the break. Stay with us.
happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back. Right now, we're taking a live look at the Walter Clark Highway 11 Cam in Rancho Mirage. Yet again, another beautiful, clear blue skies out there today. A lot of sunshine, 14 hours to be exact. So hopefully you went out and enjoyed it at some point today. When it was a little bit cooler. 107.4 the high today, so we are just slightly above average for this time of year. 104 is normal for us. So we're kind of scaling back on those temperatures a little bit, even more so as we get into the weekend. 122 is that record-breaking number from 2017, and I am more than happy that we did not reach that today. At this hour, 105 on the southeast end in Indio. Still at this hour on the other side of the 10 there, 104, 4,000 Palms, 99 at 29. We are 80s in the pass. Overnight tonight will be in the 70s here on the desert floor. We were in the low 80s a couple days ago, so slightly cooler for our evening hours as well. I'll give Idlewild a shout out. They are 53 overnight tonight. As far as dew points, relative humidity, very dry. So we talked about that trough of low pressure that's going to bring those gusty winds, those cooler conditions. The rain associated with that storm is going to stay well to the north of us. We're going to stay dry here. Saturday, again, 100 to 104. Actually, I think 99 now. Wanted to give a little shout out too for Saturday. Tomorrow is my little girl's first birthday. This is Callie here. We're going to be celebrating this weekend at none other than Disneyland because I like Disneyland. So wanted to say happy birthday to her. As we get into Tuesday next week, we'll get another shortwave trough moving through that'll keep us below average for at least through early next week. And then we'll have that move to the east of us. We'll start to ramp up those temperatures as we get into the middle and late next week. Here's a look at your Comfort Air 7-day forecast. So 99 for a Saturday. That's what we're celebrating. Stay below average through Tuesday. Warm back up to just below 110 by next Friday.
NBC Palm Springs Sports Desk. Brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos. We have your game.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Caitlin Kelly. Tim O'Brien has the night off. And as our dear Tim would say, we're just one sleep away from witnessing an attempt to break a world record taking place right here in Palm Springs. Tomorrow, the festivities for the action sports spectacle known as Record Breakers starts at 3 p.m. Myself and Tim O'Brien will be at the Palm Springs Surf Club bringing you highlights from all the events taking place. From 3 to 5 p.m., you'll have skateboarding and BMX warm-ups along with some meet and greets with the athletes. Then later on in the evening, we have Colby Raha looking to break a world record by jumping 32 BMWs. This will be followed by a surf demo, the screening of Colby Raha's movie, and an after party. Tickets are still available for the event at PalmSpringsSurfClub.com if you want to come hang with Tim and myself and see the world's best in the action sports world. Now turning the page from action sports to the hardwood. Right, folks, the NBA made its way home to NBC in a blockbuster agreement. The NBC will be home to both NBA and WNBA regular season and playoff basketball games for the next 11 years. The NBA season starts in October, but not before the Lakers make their way here to the desert for their preseason game at Acrisure Arena October 3rd. The Lakers, with a blockbuster deal of their own, announced earlier this week as they sold the majority stake of the franchise to Mark Walter for a cool $10 billion valuation. We spoke with Laker insider Trevor Lane of LakerNation.com earlier today to talk about all the offseason action from the franchise and what fans can expect when the purple and gold take the court here in the desert just over 4 months from now.
Well, this is a great time of year in the NBA because we're going to see that Lakers team that will be there in Palm Desert. We're going to see that team formed over the next few weeks here. I think the Lakers already are a destination that a lot of free agents, a lot of players, whether it's on the trade market or otherwise would like to get to. And this will only make that more so.
Of course, NBA free agency starts July 6th, so it'll be an interesting offseason to say the least as this Laker team puts together their new roster, which they will premiere right here in the desert. That'll do it for sports. I'm Caitlin Kelly.
All right, Caitlin, thank you for that. And some entertainment news tonight. The Palm Springs Friends of Philharmonic announced their upcoming season lineup featuring 6 world-renowned orchestras performing at the McAllen Theater. Season kicks off January 21st of next year. We got symphonies like the Chicago Symphony, also the Minneira Symphony, which is the orchestra out of Mexico, and also the LA Phil with Joshua Dudamel, and a whole lot more.
So it always takes us a little while to sell all of the seats and to get everybody situated and accommodate everybody's seating requests and everything. So we always start this process a little bit early. Our tickets went on sale in April for our current subscribers to renew. And now that that process is done, we have opened it up for new subscribers. And yeah, we do sell out our season. So people should call in as soon as they can.
Season subscriptions are available right now. But as Lee just said right there, they do sell out fast. So visit psphil.org to secure your seats and support world-class music right here in the Coachella Valley.
Grammy Award-winning singer Chris Brown pleading not guilty to an assault charge in the United Kingdom. This stems from an alleged bottle attack at a London nightclub February of 2023. Earlier this year, detectives arrested Brown at a hotel in the UK. That was on May 15th. He was released on conditional bail 6 days later. Meantime, Brown has continued performing on his international tour. The 36-year-old is due back in court July 11th. Trial set for October of next year. Jaws was released this very day back in 1975. The classic blockbuster became an iconic part of film history, all thanks to its famous score and that infamous shark. In tonight's Hollywood Minute, Douglas Hyde takes a look at the many ways Jaws is being celebrated 50 years later.
You yell shark, we've got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July.
After 50 years, you probably thought it was safe to go back in the water again. Well, Jaws is back and celebrating its golden anniversary. Director Steven Spielberg has recorded a new introduction for the 1975 classic, which is now streaming along with its sequels exclusively on Peacock. A special 50th anniversary edition is also now out on 4K Ultra HD, Blu-ray, and digital.
The Academy Museum of Motion Pictures, the world's largest museum dedicated to movie making, is thrilled to announce Jaws, the exhibition.
LA's Academy Museum of Motion Pictures is launching the largest exhibit ever dedicated to Jaws in September.
There are over 200 objects that will be on view in this exhibition, and we've been working in close partnership, of course, with Steven Spielberg, so we can tell behind-the-scenes stories in a way that the public has never experienced before.
We were on the real ocean, and we were way out of our element for 5 months, and we all began going off the deep end, literally.
Jaws was, as they say in Hollywood, a difficult shoot, especially for Spielberg. Documentary filmmaker Laurent Bouzereau delves into that in Jaws at 50, The Definitive Inside Story, which premieres on Nat Geo, Disney Plus, and Hulu next month.
The toll that it took on him and what it did to him, the good and the bad, was the thing that was really a revelation for me.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
All right, now if all of that got you in the mood to watch Jaws tonight, stick around. The classic will be airing right here on NBC Palm Springs at 8 o'clock. We'll be right back.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more.
All right, finally tonight, if you're looking to impress your date with where to eat for dinner, you might want to head to Lima, Peru. That's where Mado is located. Just took the top spot in this year's World's 50 Best Restaurants survey as determined by the World's 50 Best Restaurants Academy. The group says that Mado serves Nikkei cuisine, which blends Japanese techniques with Peruvian ingredients. Made the jump from 5th on the list last year to this year's 1st.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, I was hoping it would be a little closer, but I guess we'll have to book a plane ticket.
Yeah, second to Red Robin, so there you go.
All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. Nightly News is next, and we're back here tonight with the latest local headlines coming up at 6 o'clock. We hope to see you then.